has reset, and Nimble managing to stay on top of the map, picking off the kill, going forward. His team getting a double. The War Machine out from Azzy there as well, might add, before he got shut down. Nimble just able to clean up and complete the kills. 25 points away, I might add, from his score streaks. Scratch that, he's already got him.
Stop it, Nimble!
Yeah.
He's gonna dodge one. He's gonna heat wave another.
Oh my God!
What in the world?
Where's the return? He gets that as well. Diabolic is a monster. 3-2 advantage for DT. He's so heat wave. He's still killing people.
What is going on?
Is on a rampage streak. That was unbelievable stuff as DT takes the lead.
Being a part of the Call of Duty competitive scene has honestly been almost a life-changing experience for me. I love everything about it. It's the connections you make with your teammates, with all these other pro players, with the fans that you meet at these events. We're all hanging out, we're all having a good time. I started off playing video games at a very young age, so I always knew growing up that I really enjoyed video games. I finally got introduced into MLG and saw the tournaments and saw that there's people playing for thousands of dollars and stuff like that. And I remember thinking in my head, I want to do that. I'm a slayer, which means I just kill as many people as I can. I'm mainly supporting my teammates who are doing all that objective work. I went through a bit of a low point in my career at the very beginning of Advanced Warfare, this past Call of Duty. I was on OpTic Gaming for an entire year during Call of Duty Ghost. OpTic Gaming is kind of the pinnacle of Call of Duty organizations in terms of fan support. And then I ended up getting dropped at the very beginning of Advanced Warfare before we'd even played together, before we'd even scrimmaged. I understand now where they were coming from. When you have the chance to get two high-caliber players like Formal and Crim6, it's kind of a no-brainer. But looking back on it, you know, I kind of got released in a really, really unfortunate way. We played him at Call of Duty Championships, and I said that tweet, throw me to the Wolves and I'll come back leading the pack, because the team I was on Denial was called the Wolf Pack, and so it worked out perfectly in terms of us being the Wolf Pack, and they threw me to the Wolves at the beginning of the game, and you know, at the end, we ended up beating them and winning that $1 million tournament.
My team is myself, Karma, Scump, and Crim6. They've been Call of Duty gods for as long as I've known about Call of Duty.
We have like 4 of the best Call of Duty players to ever touch the game on consoles.
Crim is more the in-game leader. He goes over and gives the most advice.
Scump will be the guy who's just always throwing a joke in there, like just to like lighten up the mood. And Karma's just the guy who, when you know he's talking, it's something serious.
Then you have Formal, who's our AR player or assault rifle player. He's more of sit back, hold lanes. We go at each other's necks a little bit online. We're gonna fight, we're gonna butt heads, we're gonna have arguments. We're not gonna agree all the time.
Whenever there is a tense argument going on, I'm usually the guy that's like, bro, let's just relax. We're just 4 best friends.
We have a great time in and out of the game.
Goal this year is sort of to get revenge for last year. I think that everyone is still pissed off about the whole 7th place thing.
Going in with the best team that I've had at a Call of Duty Championships to have my worst placing, it was heartbreaking.
We made it to the finals of every tournament but that tournament.
No one else thought they could beat us. No one thought they could even touch us out of there.
That's probably the most mad I've ever been in my life.
I think we all kind of learned last year what not to do this year. There's no way that we're going to let that happen again.
B-drop. Slasher was in the action too. He's able to get one. The drone's still down. What a heat wave coming in from Karma. Can they make the plays? The drone's still down. It's right in front of Slasher. They get it for a second, but he's by himself. He's getting pinched from both sides. This is nuts.
He is putting down tons of shots. How is Slasher still alive?
I have no idea. He gets another. The drone is reset though. So all this time, all he's done is at least keep them pinned.
Well, Slasher has gone on an unbelievable seven streak in their face.
There's still a sight in play. The specialists most definitely are not dead. Coming around that corner, looking fierce, 8 seconds and counting. He keeps him safe. He's completely locked it down. Nelson, the bodyguard, is going to scoop it up and make it to 7. That is an astounding round, one to remember.
Heat wave gets hit. What a perfect use of that specialist. He stops the dunk from coming in. That is definitely a play to keep in mind. Classic with Afterburner. One player to beat, though. That's wall running as well. He turns around, passes it to his teammate. Mooney moving it forward with the drone. He's going over drone. He's going for the dunk. Is he going to float on in? Oh, that was so anticlimactic. The story of my life as he uses
Hold on, we got to score. It doesn't matter. Yes! The greatest upgrade play ever! like they should be able to at least put a 2-point
They have
play
an
on the board
opportunity here.
Yeah, they have an
Someone has to
opportunity.
get back.
And he's got kinetic as well, so they have an opportunity to actually make this happen. You're gonna see the drone get to the hands of OpTic. Slasher picks up, not able to toss it for yards, though. It's actually gonna be
got this. I think
in
they
the
have
hands
a
of
chance.
Grim.
You
He's
gotta
got
get the
a
toss
pass.
for Turn around. You gotta run. 6 seconds left. They should be able to get the dunk. And there it is. Tie game. OpTic Gaming. 3 seconds left. We've got OT.
Try and get a pick here. Nogman's gonna toss in a nade, try and get a hit marker, but I don't think they have any idea spaces in that corner.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Look how cocky this is. He's
Really?
He flies in, tries to no-scope one. He watches his teammate drop. Is he gonna be able to connect with his thing? There it is. Aqua, man on a mission right now. He buys a second. He's a maniac. He shouldn't be alive in the first place. And then he soars in one. Woo! Aqua, you filthy man.
In school and to like be the best player I could be for my team. I'm a submachine gun player, so I'm always like in your face, running at people, do the objective, cover my teammates if they need cover, or just go to the lane that's open. Call of Duty 4, when I first started playing, I placed top 8 my first event. I started my first live stream when people came out to watch. FaZe Clan has a ton of fans, and now that I'm on FaZe, there's just a bunch of them. They're always tweeting us, congratulating us. I'm just gonna keep writing it out, keep doing my absolute best. I don't think I have a personal, biggest rival, but since we're on FaZe, probably OpTic Gaming, because last year, FaZe won an event, and then OpTic won 3. Clayster, myself, Replays, and JCap were on Denial. We beat OpTic at Call of Duty Championships and won that tournament, and then OpTic won the next 2 tournaments, and then when we formed our new team with myself, Zuma, Enable, and Clayster, we beat OpTic 3 times on LAN, and they haven't beat us yet on LAN, so it's really fun when we play them. They're probably the best team in the game. Always love hanging out with them, but when we're in game, we're rivals, we just gotta play each other, and it's always really fun because it's always an intense match.
Every day, I probably get 5 tweets on my Twitter asking, how do you become a pro gamer? Do you have any tips? You have to be dedicated, put a lot of time into it. You have to be patient. I've been putting in 8 to 12 hours a day. Eventually, if you're a good player, you'll get recognized. Just from playing video games, they come up and say, hey, dude, I'm a big fan. I appreciate what you do. And I think it's cool that someone wants me to write sharp on a piece of paper because I play video games. Right out of high school, I was traveling a lot. We were going to London, we went to Germany and stuff like that. So, my family is like, why can't you hang out? And I'm like, well, I'm doing this. I got to play in this tournament. They've been to some of my tournaments. They usually watch all of them online, and my mom will sit there and watch my stream sometimes when I'm playing. So it's nice to have a supportive family. My brothers, they think it's pretty crazy. There was a tournament in Columbus they all went to, and they all had mullet wigs on because my whole thing is mullet nation because I'm from Kentucky. So they were all rocking mullet wigs, screaming in the crowd. So it was pretty cool to see them out there. I think my team this year can go as far as any other team can go. I think we're one of the best teams. Black Ops 2 was Team Caliber's best game as an organization, so I think Black Ops 3 would just be the same thing.
All right, guys, we're back. We saw CLG getting upset in Game 1. Game 3, DT upsets LG, and now things getting more and more interesting. But our final match of the night is going to be compLexity going up against OpTic Gaming. And this is really just about, OpTic cemented their first place right now. It's just compLexity, how far are they going to fall in the standings?
I mean, who knows at this point? You don't know what you're going to get from this compLexity squad. They seem very inconsistent as of late.
Yeah, it's just, can they avoid a 3-0? Can they push this maybe to a Game 5? They've been very, very good in Game 5s, but a guy that's got to have a big performance. You need from the whole team, and Nameless has to go big because he's going up against one of the better ARs in the game. Nameless, him and Parasite switch roles. He's been great at times, inconsistent at others. They need a really strong performance out of him.
Nameless has been playing very well as of late. I mean, he's been killing it from the games I've seen from him.
They haven't been winning. He has been playing great, and he has a really, really tough matchup here. They're going against OpTic Gaming, the #1 team right now in Stage 1, looking, cementing that #1 seed really going into the finals April 1st through 3rd. And the other guy we're going to talk about is going to be Formal. He's been lights out.
Oh man, who picked these cards?
You actually did this time.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
Well, I know all the viewers out there.
No, but he's been lights out really throughout the course of Stage 1. And you need Miracles to go big to deal with Scump to a degree. You need Nameless to go big to deal with Formal. They have so many slang weapons on this roster. How do you slow a guy like Formal down?
maybe you try to ban stock. That's really the only way I could think of it, but he's just so good. I mean, his shot always seems to be on point. This is one of those players that just does not miss.
Yeah, and it's been impressive for sure. They've tried, various teams have tried to ban, like the M8, ban various rifles. He's been showing that he can mix it up with just about anything. OpTic going to want to keep this one a little bit more standard. Is there anything compLexity can maybe do in the ban protect to?
compLexity like to get creative. They're not afraid to ban something like Quick Draw. They're not afraid to ban like Blast Suppressor. Not sure if we'll see it here, but they're certainly a team that's capable of it.
All right, well, the Simtex coming off from Nameless.
Yeah, they know Karma loves to rock Danger Close as of late.
Mixes it up a little bit here. Overclock coming off. I'm trying to think, you still
It looks like they're trying to attack Karma here for the most part.
You still have high caliber. Do they they might even attack Kinetic? We've seen teams take that out a lot for Scump. You don't want him to get rolling at all?
I think Formal takes out high caliber. Yeah, let's see what Ricky decides to do now. The Shiva is still in play.
I don't know if they mind the Shiva as much as maybe. Oh, they do. Okay, I was thinking maybe Kinetic Armor. We've seen that taken out a lot to try and slow Scump down, but they are going to ultimately take out the Shiva. I don't know if I'd be that scared of that if I'm compLexity, but we'll see. If the Simtex ban, I would have minded seeing something like Stock or Blast Suppressor or just something with a little bit more variety from them.
I was leaning more towards Stock because not only does it affect Formal, it affects Scumpy as well as Crimsix, the players who are going to be using Stock on their weapons, whether it's an assault rifle or a SMG. But yeah, I think I would have liked something more of a Stock ban than the last one we saw at Shiva.
Okay, well, rounding out the specialist draft here, nothing too shocking thus far. You see 2 weapons on the side of OpTic Gaming here. Will Ricky round it out?
Okay.
Well, 3, yeah, they end up going to the side too. So Ricky's, you got to think, going to definitely go weapon here. Yeah, he'll take the Purifier out. You'll have one for either side. The main difference going to be what? It's going to be Camo versus Tempest on either side. Who's going to be able to get better advantage of that? I mean, active Camo can be incredible for breaking into hard points. Tempest, if you connect your shots, can be amazing. We've seen players using that more and more. But for this matchup, I mean, compLexity, you got to stop the floodgates. You've lost, I think,
you got to stop the bleeding.
Three or four in a row here at this point. Whereas OpTic's been the opposite of the spectrum. They've just been on a roll here. Again, this is all about seeding. Both of these teams, I believe, well, OpTic definitely safe. compLexity should be safe after the H2K loss. It's now just trying to hold on to their seed, not drop to potentially 8th, because this could be a first-round matchup at stage 1.
Depends on how compLexity finish off the season. I mean, they have some very tough matches ahead, but as you were just saying, they're secured up 8 at least going into the stage 1 finals. But OpTic Gaming, they're a team that they've been on a tear as of late. They won the most recent 25K, by the way. They've won 3 of the 4 that were available between stage 1 and 2. So they've just been a team that's just been on a huge tear.
Well, we appreciate you fans today and viewers. You guys have been bringing us a lot of questions today. As you know, we mixed it up a little bit. Instead of us bringing you the questions you guys have been asking us, it's Saul, Andy, do you miss the Denial squad for Advanced Warfare? Now, is this the actual squad? Are we talking more the organization? I know we've seen, I think I saw Robbie tweet about wanting to get back into Call of Duty, the owner of Denial, so they could be back. If you mean the actual roster, we had what? Replays, JCap, Clayster, Attach. I mean, it's hard to miss it when it's hard to miss it when half of those guys went over to the FaZe side of things, and now this FaZe team has been so dominant. You know, would I love to see Denial get back in the mix of things as an organization? Sure, but it's hard to miss that actual squad just because you've got bits and pieces of it across FaZe, across Envy, and they've all been seeing success with their various teams.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah, if we're talking about the COD Champs Denial team, which I assume is the case. Yeah, no, I missed you through Advanced Warfare. Miss casting with you. But now we're here. It's our final game of the night.
Yep.
Hard point. Probably OpTic Gaming's best game mode. This is going to be a tough one for compLexity, but can they get the upset here?
Yeah, the reason why I wanted to highlight Nameless in the pre-match discussion was because I think compLexity are going to have a tough time matching the slang from OpTic Gaming. It seems to be a constant theme whenever you're going up against OpTic is how do you combat the massive slang potential they bring to each and every game mode. And I think Nameless is going to be the key to success here for compLexity. I think if he's having not just a great game, but a phenomenal game, that's when compLexity can realistically take some games off of OpTic here.
Well, let's look at weapons. I'm going to go through compLexity's side. You got a Man of War for Parasite, VMP for Miracles. Ricky is going to be going VMP as well. And then we'll check. Let me see what Nameless is going to opt to go with. Nameless will be rocking an M8. So let's see how the break goes. First man in is going to be Ricky, setting up trophies here, trying to deal with the pressure. You see on X-Ray a couple players outside, and they are going to force their way in. Scump and Krim, both coming up with kills there as they've now locked up Domino.
And one thing OpTic Gaming always do well is they trust their teammates. So you saw Karma, he was in position to cut off one whole doorway. The rest of the OpTic Gaming members inside the hill, they didn't have to worry about that. So they trusted Karma to watch it, and then they just turned around and focused on the other door. So it's going to be OpTic Gaming now trying to set up to break. Form will make his way right through the middle of the map, and just like that, just deletes Nameless off of the map. But the hardpoint still in control of compLexity. Here comes Formal from around the back. It's going to be Karma there to trade the kill. And it's right now compLexity, they had the lead, but still very early on.
Yeah, good start. Who's the first man at the top to rotate out? That's a player from OpTic, I think. That's Krim. So Krim rotated pretty early here with about 15 or so seconds left. They're going to leave a bit of this time. Just trying to contest as best they can. But the spawn should be in favor of OpTic. As you can see, they're starting to pop there around back lab and cage.
Formal needs to be careful. These compLexity players are pushing right through the middle of the map. Does put some shots into Miracle's Karma's here, maybe to trade the kill, but no, he gets overpowered. Now Krim, he's starting to get a little bit worried inside the hardpoint. You still look out for him. These are crucial kills for him to make, just trying to hold on to the spawns. And what shaped to be a great break from compLexity. Here comes Krim 6. He takes down Miracles. Nameless pushes out for the third as Karma takes his spot inside the hardpoint, goes for the beatdown, misses, as it's going to be a clean compLexity break. Switching over to Ricky, who's inside the hardpoint.
Yeah, they broke really well. It was a nice early rotation from OpTic. They got set up. They've taken control, but it's been pretty back and forth. You've done a good job contesting right now if you're compLexity. You're not allowing a huge chunk of time for OpTic Gaming. And they've still within 10 points or so right now. You see Ricky dropping there to Karma, and we should start having a rotation over the third hardpoint. This is one where we see teams' ability to lock down, those 40 to 60 points, have a really big setup. And just look at the minimap at the top left. It's looking very, very strong here for an early setup. As you want a Nameless to go big, he is here on the rotation.
Big kills from him. That's going to solidify early control of the Pal's hardpoint to compLexity. Moving over to Miracles, who also is heating up a little bit, but he gets stopped short of his spree right there. Nameless spots the HC, takes care of that as he's looking to make some defense inside the hardpoint, but here comes Formal along with the rest of the OpTic Gaming members.
Parasite, the lone man, trying to deal with several players, getting pushed from every side, and Formal was a big part of this. He got 4 kills on his way to get the break here. Ricky eventually going to be able to connect on that player, and eventually, so Formal did fall. I don't think he got close to any streaks. No one going off big in the kill theory now. We're just taking their time trying to get forward, or trying to get closer to those weapons and abilities.
All right, and OpTic Gaming once again setting up the break. Karma leading the charge, takes down Parasite, turns around, and he destroys Nameless right there. But who's here from OpTic Gaming to follow up the push? It's going to be Scumpy, who falls to the hands of Ricky. Now only 10 seconds remaining. It's all about the next hardpoint. Of course, you see some players for compLexity already set up in Parasite along with Nameless. But here comes OpTic Gaming right through the front door. Krim 6 will get spotted out of position. It's going to be camo available here for Parasite. Might choose to pop it here shortly.
Well, what's scary, though, is OpTic is a team, typically it starts a little slow in hardpoints. compLexity is a team that starts pretty well in hardpoints and doesn't close very well. So right now, it's a bit scary with how close this has been. When OpTic starts to turn up, is compLexity going to be able to deal with that pressure? Doing a good job so far. Parasite was locking it down. Crimson not trying to break in from the top. He saw one player in the corner there. Finally, with the pre-fire, able to take down Miracles. But you're racking up time if you're compLexity. You're doing a good job holding. You're halfway through, and now the first contest really coming in from OpTic Gaming.
Yes, Scump pops his kinetic armor here, finishes the kill on the Parasite, looking for some more players, but he winds up getting cleaned up as Ricky falls off the map. Formal takes out Miracles, so the final seconds should be going in favor of OpTic Gaming, as it's going to be Karma leading the rotation. He's caught by Miracles, as once again the rotation won by compLexity. They're going to have a very early position to work with here, but despite all the time they've invested into these early setups, really hasn't paid off for them just yet.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lead, but I agree with you. It's just they haven't done a good job holding the entire hardpoint. If you keep getting those first 20 to 30 seconds like they have been, that ends up adding up over the course of time. The only one really that they didn't rotate early to very well was the second cage hardpoint. Other than that, they've been doing an excellent job. You saw Krim's Purifier come out.
Doing nothing.
He got obliterated by Nameless, and now the break. Nameless on a 4 streak actually currently. Ricky, though, with the Purifier, he's going to be watching steps. He can be responsible for the side and also front, just really keeping any pressure off with this Purifier. Look how much he just scared the players back. They've just been scared to push in.
Okay, there's fire here. I can no longer push this side of the map. And Nameless was on a spree. He earned himself the HCXD. Will also have his Scythe to work with later on in this game as he spots one player top AC. Makes quick work on the Krim 6 right there. But once again, it's OpTic Gaming contesting for the scrap time. It looks like it will go in their favor as Now players from compLexity, they're starting to set up middle map once again. HCXD coming out from Scumpy spots. 2 players. One on the bridge, moves in for the kill, and he takes out Ricky. There's 1 player waiting for him right outside the door, as we're going to switch over to Karma as he breaks into the hard point.
Tries to slide in, gets pinched from behind, 3 down, Scump the lone man. And this is another hard point. The early time's going to go to compLexity. They've set up a little bit better here for the break. And that's what 3 hard points in a row. They've won the rotation battle. The question is, can they hold it for an extended length of time? It's just been the opening 20 or 30. They've done a good job of, and Krim with the 3-piece.
So what's going on with Karma right now?
Getting points in.
9 and 22, definitely not the numbers you expect from him. Is it maybe that heat wave ban that's hurting him here?
Well, I mean, it could be. He loves heat wave. We don't see him use the Tempest too frequently. Trying to think if anything came out. Oh, you mentioned the Simtex. He likes to lock danger close too. That could be affecting his play style a little bit in hardpoint.
All right, so maybe some bans targeting Karma, hurting him a little bit, but despite that, OpTic, it's nearly a tied game for them. In fact, they'll take the lead here if they soak up the rest of this time. But once again, a consistent theme throughout this entire hardpoint has been compLexity with their early rotations. They always set up early. They always have initial positioning at the next hardpoint. But as I said, it really just hasn't paid off for them just yet.
They're playing a much more disciplined hardpoint game.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do to beat OpTic Gaming. The question is when it comes down to the stretch, when it's panic mode, those final couple hardpoints, can they do it? A 3-piece from Parasite is going to eliminate the pressure for the time being, but you're getting a pretty close spawn by Lab for OpTic. They're going to try to break this at least one more time. They're flooding in the back. All the pressure coming in. Scump able to win the first gunfight. Miracles pops the kinetic. How many can he get? There's 1. There's 2. Grabs them both. Is there a third? Yeah, Ricky got into the action as well, but nice use of kinetic there by Miracles.
Yeah, great job. You saw him preemptively pop that kinetic armor, and there we go. Now it's starting to pay off for compLexity. They've built themselves a little bit of a lead. Might be enough to invest into a rotation, and Miracles continuing to get help from his teammates as Nameless takes down Scump. Now it's time for rotation. Look, you already got a compLexity member coming around the back. It will be Parasite. He does die a little bit early, and this is the first time we've seen OpTic Gaming rotate early to a hardpoint, mainly because they got bullied out of cages.
Well, they haven't. Sometimes OpTic relies on just getting a break. They feel like they can outgun players. They can allow them to rotate early and just break in their first or second try. But you said the compLexity need to try and keep up with the slang, and that's what's so difficult for teams. Every single player positive on the side of compLexity right now.
All right, Formal decides to take out his scythe. He's finding a couple kills with it, and this is the perfect weapon to lock down this hard point, man. A lot of long lines of sight that these compLexity players will be pushing towards as Formal cleans up 2 more, takes out Miracles and Nameless. And now this is starting to get dangerous because if Formal starts heating up and you hear some score streaks, it could snowball out of effect, out of reach from compLexity, really.
Well, he's got an opportunity to do so. The problem is his scythe run out right as this player pushes is the question. He's laying prone, though, waiting for it. Now the break came in from top middle, and that's what happened.
That's the worst timing
ever. It ran out right when he had to engage there. Frustrating for sure, and you've still got a 20-point or so advantage right now for compLexity. These next couple of rotations going to be massive.
Oh, he doesn't check his corner, and it's going to be Ricky waiting there to take out Karma. compLexity still with around a 30-point lead, the largest I've seen throughout this entire game. As Ricky falls inside the hardpoint to Scump, it's going to be Formal now pushing with Karma coming from bottom broken. He is able to spot 1 player out. Does take out Ricky. Can he find 2? He cannot. Back over to Formal as he drops. It seems like OpTic Gaming, they're starting to get a little bit desperate, pushing 1 by 1 now inside the hardpoint.
Yeah, it's not working out at all. compLexity, their lead continues to grow. The biggest we've seen here. They need to get a break.
They're closing it out.
Yeah, I mean, this is so tough. They've been rotating early so well that all they need right now is to get, I don't know, 10 points or so on the rotation here, and they should have this one. Just get those early points like they've been doing all game. This is what you see when you rotate early, when you play a little more disciplined, at some point, it's going to rack up. All right, well, Ricky here getting pressured. Miracles trying to rotate to mid-map and close this one out. They only need 1 point there, and there it is. compLexity stealing game 1. 71-point victory, upsetting OpTic Gaming, and that's only OpTic's like 2nd or 3rd loss, I think, in hardpoint. So that is a big, big win for compLexity, and that certainly extends the series and gives that game 5 that has been the hero kind of for compLexity now becomes a much, much more realistic option.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And sometimes you'll just get this from compLexity where, you know, you'll see this top level of gameplay for them. And, you know, I've said this before and I'll stand by it about compLexity. They always play to the level of their opponents. And sure, going up against these top teams, that's a positive. But when they're going up against some lesser opponents, like, you know, maybe like a CLG or someone, they stoop down to their level. And CLG, a weaker opponent than OpTic Gaming, a team that compLexity should be beating, they lose to them.
You kind of have to have like a cutthroat mentality not to allow that to happen, because you see that I mean, anything. Talk NBA, NFL, talk major sports, any other esport. That happens. Sometimes you think like, oh, we've got an easier match tonight. You know, we can take it a little bit slower, and then you end up getting punished for it. They're certainly stepping up here against OpTic Gaming, though, early on, as they're going to take the first victory. And let's take a look. I think every player went positive. Well, Ricky goes even, but yeah, look at the time he had in the hard point. That's just a big performance from complexity. He gets from everyone there.
And, you know, the one thing you could usually rely on for OpTic Gaming, I mean, you got 18 and 34 from Karma. Krim goes negative. Scump, the only person positive. I mean, not the typical scoreline you expect from OpTic, but this gives complexity a real shot to win the series.
It certainly does. A little bit uncharacteristic for sure from OpTic Gaming, but it makes it that much more interesting because if they take game one, like they almost always do, that's why they're putting teams in a hole time and time again. So we're going through the highlights right here. And you see how close it is through basically the first half of this game, back and forth, and that has been an issue for complexity, again, closing out hard points. Usually it's OpTic that does that so well, but when they really start to erupt was over those final couple of hard points.
Well, yeah, and they closed it out there on the final glass one, and you could see finally the early rotations and all the time they invested early on in the game finally paid off. You know, they were able to win the rotation towards that final glass one, and OpTic Gaming, they weren't even able to get close to it for the most part.
Well, that just reminded me almost of OpTic at the beginning of Advanced Warfare. You know, they were playing in a lot of the online matches and leagues, and they got comfortable with the ability just to break whenever they wanted to. They let teams rotate a little bit early and weren't worried about it. They figured they could just bust through in the first or second break. When you play that type of game, if you don't get those breaks early, it really starts to add up because that was the first, 15 to 30 points almost on every hard point was going the way of complexity.
Yeah.
And it looked like the gameplay looked so much harder for OpTic because they were constantly trying to break in over and over again.
I mean, look, if complexity are able to get those defensive kills in some of the earlier hard points, that game is nearly a blowout for complexity, right? You don't allow OpTic Gaming to get any of the scrap time. You just kill them in rotation to try to set up to break. It could really throw OpTic Gaming off. And, you know, complexity, they probably could have won it by a bigger scoreline had those kills gone in their favor. But now going into Search and Destroy, it is going to be on Stronghold here. Search and Destroy, maybe one of the weaker game modes from OpTic Gaming. They still look good from it from time to time, but this has been really complexity's staple game mode to win games in.
Yeah, no, it really has been. This is where I think they need to come up big. If they get a 2-0 advantage of OpTic, you're feeling very good about complexity's chances in this one, and I don't even know if I'm in the right lobby right now.
I'm not either. I'm waiting for someone to set it up.
Bring us with you. Then we'll be good to go. But yeah, S&D here. I mean, let's take a look through the maps in case this is the one lone match you're watching tonight. We have S&D on Stronghold. It'll be Uplink Fringe, CTF Evac, and S&D Hunted. When we talk about Stronghold as a map for Search and Destroy, do you give complexity the edge in this one, or do you still feel pretty good about OpTic's chances?
I think I give complexity a slight edge here. Okay. But when it comes to Uplink, I think OpTic are the stronger Uplink team, and then maybe complexity might be able to close it out in the CTF coming up. Okay. But I think this gives, because they win the hard point, especially if they win the upcoming CTF or S&D, I think complexity's in a pretty good spot maybe to close this out.
All right. This S&D is going to be so important.
I don't think there is even a lobby set up.
Right. Well, we'll take our time here. We'll chat a little bit about the match while we wait for this one to get going. But send us your thoughts, guys. You know, we've been getting questions all night long, you know, for us casters about the league and whatever you guys are curious about. It could be rosters, relegation, the finals coming up April 1st through 3rd. Just send in any questions. Use the hashtag CWLPS4, and we'll be taking a look at those through the course of the final match here. But yeah, I'm a bit shocked because I did not. If there was one game mode where I thought I could have picked with almost 100% certainty, it was OpTic Gaming winning the hard point. It's been their bread and butter over really. I mean, this team's been teaming together for almost a year. It's been their bread and butter for basically a year in Advanced Warfare and in Black Ops 3. But complexity coming up huge, and really, you said it. You don't really outslay OpTic Gaming. They did,
and that was one of our big questions going into that match. If complexity were able to do it, we had a good chance of them winning that first map. But now, I mean, what happens in the rest of the series? I think OpTic Gaming, they're definitely still in it. I mean, I said Search and Destroy is one of their weaker game modes, but they're still pretty darn good at it overall. It's going to be a tough match for complexity, but like we've been saying, they're pretty darn good at Search and Destroy. They have been for many years now. I mean, you have Ricky. You look at some of the stats he's able to put up in Search and Destroy. It's just, you know.
Well,
like unrealistic almost.
Well, last time I think I looked at kind of a breakdown of like player efficiency ratings for Search and Destroy. It was a top 10, I believe, from this particular matchup. Parasite, Ricky, and Formal were all in the top 10, and that's including first blood percentage, KD, bomb plant percentage, all that fun stuff. Those three really doing a good job, so that'll be a big part of this. You know, can Formal go off for OpTic? Do you get a big effort from Ricky and Parasite on the other side of things? As hopefully now we're loading back in, we can get this lobby going here for game 2. Thank you guys that are watching at home for being patient. We should be ready to go and wrap up the final match of the night. It's been interesting.
It started off as a very short day. You know, 2 very quick 3-0s. You saw CLG 3-0 Team Envious, then FaZe come back to 3-0 TSM, and then all of a sudden things start getting crazy, right? DT, they get the reverse sweep on Luminasi, and somehow they win a game 5. That was definitely shaped up to be one of the best series of the night. And then we have probably our premier matchup, I think, compLexity versus OpTic Gaming coming into tonight, not knowing any of the results ahead of time. It was looking very scary for compLexity. You know, their playoff lives were on the line, but fortunately for them, H2K lost their match today. So that means that compLexity, they now clinched their spot. But when it comes to seeding implications, of course, they want to win as many matches and maps as they possibly can to put them in the best spot possible to really not face OpTic Gaming in round 1. That's really what compLexity are playing for here. As we're just waiting to join the lobby and we can get this match started.
Yeah, I think I finally got in. You might just have to try again. Just took me a couple. I was trying very hard.
I'm in.
I tried to join a few times. There we go. Okay, so we should be ready to go here. Maybe just waiting on a player or two here to start this one. But Stronghold S&D will be the game. Snipers, we've seen them be an impact in the past. Well, really every Search and Destroy we've casted today, they've had a role, at least on Stronghold, they've had a role in some capacity here. So you're going to have maybe Formal and Karma. And the only one on the other side, actually, if I was Parasite, I think Parasite's a phenomenal sniper, but you might try to attack the sniper and not want to deal with it from OpTic Gaming.
I mean, you look at the guys from compLexity, the last time we really saw them snipe like a lot was maybe back in Ghosts. Even we saw Miracle sniping a little bit in Black Ops 2.
Parasite did it a bit, quite a bit in Advanced Warfare, and we've seen him do it on and off in this game. It's just against OpTic.
You can't hold Advanced Warfare over my head.
I will.
I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, you were finishing school. You know, that's important. Kids, go to school. That's simple life lessons with Maven. You're welcome.
You're such a good role model for the community, Maven.
I try my hardest. I think it's just one more guy we're waiting to join here, and we should be ready to go.
Yeah, Formal we're waiting on.
As far as S&D goes, you know, we talked about the fact that you have kind of a couple players that, well, actually, you know what's funny? The last time I casted compLexity, I was talking about Ricky Parasite. The past couple I've done, it's been Miracles.
Yeah, Miracles has been performing very well as of late. I think even in the respawn game modes, I think he's really starting to step up his gameplay, and that really complements Nameless as well. Nameless has now been able to, move a bit more freely on the map because Miracles puts just so much pressure on the other team. He pushes out lanes constantly, and when you have a player that plays like Miracles does, finding success, it just makes everything just go easier.
It really, really does. And I did not think, when you looked at the matches tonight, with the way compLexity's been playing, this is probably a match that you thought would be a 3-0 for OpTic, just because OpTic's been on fire. compLexity's been struggling, but if we get this compLexity team through the rest of this one, God, I mean, this is anyone's matchup. It really comes down to the S&Ds now, potentially both of them, because I still think if compLexity takes this series, it's likely in a game 5.
Look, there are days where compLexity just won't lose to any other team out there. And then there are days where us forecasters could team up and give them a run for their money.
It seems that way sometimes, right? Again, guys, apologize for the delays. Thank you for being patient. Just waiting on one player to get into the lobby here so we can start up game 2 of this best of 5. Yeah, it might help.
I'll be a good friend.
See if he's now able to join. If not, we might just have to restart here and try to get everybody in again. But hopefully not going to be more than a few minutes. Right here is... This is really the end of week 10.
How crazy is that?
It's an 11-week season.
We have 1 week left.
And we have 1 week remaining in this. And God, I can't wait for next week. I'm almost like I want to get through today and get to next week just because it's going to be a circus. It's going to be crazy just seeing. I hope it comes down to like the Wednesdays, like final probably 2 matches, like decide who's going to get in. Yeah, it probably will because you've got 4 teams that are all around that same record, like a game separating them. It should be absolutely insane.
Yep, so it looks like Formal still yet to join the lobby. That's the only player we're waiting on. I'm not sure what's going on his end, but everybody else has been able to connect here as, once he joins in, we can get this one started.
All right, now Well, let's talk a little bit more than about, while we have some time to fill here. Can we take a look, actually, hopefully we have the standings updated. Can we take a look at the standings real quick just to show maybe the new viewers coming into this match tonight how close everything is, kind of that 6 through 10 spot.
It's like a
almost.
14 block that everyone needs to look out for.
So as of right now, LG and TSM still holding on since H2K had an 0-2 week. So they're, what, 1 game back. CLG technically still alive. So in order for CLG to get in, you would need 0-2 weeks from Luminosity and TSM. And where are they at map percentage-wise? They're actually okay. So they could overtake TSM technically.
Yeah, you're asking for a bit of a miracle if you're on CLG. You're pretty much relying on other teams to lose, and you need to win as well. So it's, even if they win, like, it doesn't guarantee that the teams above them are going to lose. So it's a tough spot definitely for CLG. But the team I'm actually looking for, it's TK. We said it a bit earlier. Somehow, some way, they always find some opening to make it through, like the playoffs, to make it deep in the league, and now they have a chance to get out of that top 8. Which, what would that, for the first time, the entire stage, they'd be in that top 8 block.
Yeah, no, I could not agree more. This is wild. But guys, there appears to be some connection issues just getting everybody in here to start game 2. We're going to go to a quick 5-minute break. If we've got everyone together, we're ready to start before that, we'll come back. So stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.
You're going to have excitement. He's gone 3-0. Oh! Shucks gets completely done. There's another one right there. Excite. Get me the vomit bag. That was sick. Will Mindfreak now consider the cold-blooded because Excite is coming on. That's 3. Excite, you're going in the top 5, buddy. That's 3 in a row.
Toho, however, has got another 2 kills. He's on 10. He's on 11 as he gets another onto Brand. He single-handedly opened up this flag and picked it up. Can he make the run? He's got Legend to babysit. This could very well be a run all off the back of Toho, who really has been an outstanding player. MVP already of the game and of the play day. And potentially he's one more pattern. He's played to find. He's done it as well. Niall's gone. Toho is king. Has just slipped off the map in such a crucial round as well. He's gone. It's going to be an early, easy step in the right direction for Millennium, but just for a second before Nolson is fed. Tommy on a silver platter gets another one on the offense. Swanee was not expecting like that, an overextension. Tolson putting a toe out of line. Can he put his whole foot? No, not just yet, but he has the tag and the frag. Madcat gone, and now looks like he's just... Nolson!
Hitting this wall run, which might actually be the best chance he has in this round. He's one on the site now, a one-on-one. He's got overdrive as well. Really pop overdrive to follow this one up. That's what you want to see. Chino trying to... You've got to pop overdrive. He's got to pop overdrive.
He's got to use it to go for the defuse after this. What?
The dart gets called in. No, you got to run back to the site. You got to go defuse. Go overdrive. Oh my God. Run to the site, Chino. Go. Go.
What am I saying?
No. Oh my God. Is he going to get the defuse? Is he going to get the defuse? Oh, I can't do this. No. See where he spawns in on the map. There he is, back in his spawn. I think that's exactly why he did that. Ricky, though, earns himself the Cerberus, gets a... Ricky is literally doing everything. He's 20-5 on a 10 streak. He's going to call on the Cerberus. He's got the lead blocking done for his team. Oh, God, this game's getting out of hand quick.
Parasite's got the flag in his hand.
They're literally running away with this one.
Yeah, not much else they could do in this position, man. They're just...
Ricky's just
They've dug themselves their own grave.
Oh, my God! Ricky, someone make him stop.
Ricky's almost playing, like, 1v4 right now.
Honestly, right now, you've got Elevate playing checkers, and Ricky's playing chess. He's been playing chess for years. I mean, he's ready for this player here. 13 streak.
Gonna challenge.
Trying to make it happen. Oh, my Lord.
He's on a 13 kill spree.
And there's no sign of it stopping.
He only has 5 deaths.
Oh, man, this is just funny at this point. Ricky is literally commanding the whole map for his team. Wins another engagement, making a 14 streak. I don't even know what to say. He's going to call the Hellstorm.
He's going to earn it again.
And look at, he just slows it down. And look at how much map presence that gives his team.
Oh, he's going through the window.
Oh, my God. Ricky's on a 15 streak. And he's going to go for more. He knows Faceno's in the middle map. He's got one player to his right. Wins that fight.
Someone kill him. Thank you.
16 kills. His streak was more kills than anyone else in the game, Revan.
I remember the first time I saw Pro, he sits down next to me and he starts playing. He's doing his thing. Wait a second, I know that guy, you know, like I see that guy on MLG, and I was just like, oh my God, you know, like I was like all embarrassed. I knew that's what I wanted to do. This was like a kid's dream at the time, you know, like something I never thought was even possible. That people were actually going across the country and playing against each other for like large sums of money. I was like, oh, this is like my heaven, you know, I gotta like get into this. I've been playing for OpTic since last, maybe October. It's the longest I've ever been on an organization or a team, and couldn't be happier. When I first joined OpTic Gaming, there was like a lot of pressure on myself. I gotta just do my best. Just a year before that, I was just watching these guys play. And then a year later, I was on the team that like everybody kind of wanted to be on. And the first event, I did really poorly. Compared to how I've been playing the past 2 years that I've been in Call of Duty, I played terrible. And no one had to tell me that. I know when I do bad. 6 months from now, I have to have said that I won Call of Duty championships. The past 2 years, I've gone, and I've underperformed. We've underplaced as a team. We were expected to win, and I got reality checked really quick. We thought no one could beat us, and then we got beat by 2 different teams. Our mentalities about champs this year is so much different than last year's, but we're just not going to mess around. I've got to win Call of Duty champs. That's the biggest thing. That's the only thing.
All right, guys, we're back. I know you missed us desperately. I missed each and every one of you watching at home, but we've got everyone in the lobby. We should be ready to start Game 2 here momentarily. Thank you again for being so patient. Now, let's get back to discussions here. You said you thought this was a map that complexity might have an advantage. Can you break that down? What's your line of thinking there? Is it just S&D in general or this map?
Yeah, search and destroy in general. It's always a game mode that this complexity team has been pretty darn good at, and the fact that they've been able to steal not only just a respawn, but a hard point off of OpTic Gaming, I think puts complexity in a decent shot at winning this entire series. Of course, they still need to perform it in some of the following maps. It's not a guaranteed win by any stretch of the imagination. Ooh. There we go. That's exactly what complexity love to do in search and destroy, is protect those concussions.
Well, that's going to mix things up for sure. Do you think maybe a perk 3 ban makes sense here?
Well, Scumpy protects it.
Oh, right as I said, I was looking at you, not even at the screen.
Yeah, I've been saying that for so many weeks that teams should be doing that.
I'm not surprised that comes through. You know, you want to be able to have tac mask dead silence, tac mask blast suppressor.
You want to run everything.
Whatever your options are. I thought maybe they'd try to get on that quickly. That apparently wasn't the thinking from complexity as they went for rapid fire. They would have gone right after it.
Yeah, high caliber still in play. Specialist abilities as well, so still some things that might get targeted. It's going to be up to Ricky to round things out here. It's going to be the frag grenades. Okay, so once again, a slight target towards Karma. They know that everybody knows by now that Karma loves to run those danger close grenades, so probably have to do it Semtexes this time around. But obviously that concussion protect from complexity going to change things up a little bit, change the pace.
That was a good protect, though. I mean, maybe they weren't going to target it, but I still like to protect from Scump just to make sure they have a little more variety and options at that perk 3 spot. But you're not going to really see, at least off the rip, I don't think anyone's really going to be running the standard kind of dead silence blast suppressor. You're going to have to want to include task mask, I think, at least
it depends
early.
On the kind of push you're making. If you're doing, you know, some sort of all-out play, you don't really need dead silence. You don't really need blast suppressor. If you're putting, you know, your round in on that push.
Yeah, because it becomes more crucial when you get into a 1v1, 2v2. Those situations become a little bit more close quarters as you're trying to clutch. Now, we're getting ready to hop into this game. Players got to create their classes first here and get set up. Now, maybe you didn't see it earlier, but we put together some 101 videos for you guys watching on Live Event Viewer. You guys might be a little bit new to Call of Duty esports. Let's take a look here at S&D 101.
Search and Destroy is an elimination-based game in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. In this round-based mode, the teams are divided into either attacking or defending. The attacking team's objective is to either eliminate all of the opposing players or to detonate one of 2 bomb sites. The defending team's goal is to either eliminate all of the opposing players while defusing any armed bombs, or stay alive within the entire 1 minute 30-second time limit. After each round, the teams switch roles and their objective changes. Players only get 1 life per round in this best of 11 game mode with no respawns. The first team to successfully complete their task wins the round and scores a point. Score streaks carry over and build between rounds. The first to 6 round wins takes the game. This strategic multiplayer mode forces you to make each kill count and to choose all of your movements wisely.
And we're back. Yeah, just kind of breaking it down for those of you that are maybe a little bit new. You're a TSM fan. You know, you're a fan of some of these new organizations that have come in. You're trying to learn Call of Duty esports. Search and Destroy, I think, certainly the mode that mixes things up the most compared to the respawn mode. So just a little bit of a tutorial kind of opening video for you guys that might not be as familiar. But now just waiting. The guys setting up their score streaks. We should be ready to rock here in the next 20 to 30 seconds. If you are just tuning in for some reason, hopefully you've been watching the entire time. But if you
had some great matches.
If you missed the game 1, it is currently a 1-0 advantage right now for compLexity, which I think I've said never. So I don't think I casted. The only one I can think of was DT. No, they got 3-0'd once. Was it who 3-0'd them? How many hard points did they lost? Only like 2. 1, 2, something like that?
A couple here and there.
Not many. It's very rare that you say OpTic's trailing 0-1 in a series. But now
Hardpoint has been one of their more consistent game modes that they've been performing in, but
certainly has. That was a sloppy game 1 in my opinion from OpTic. Not really doing a good job rotating early at all.
They were in it for the most part. It was pretty even despite being late on rotations.
Well, they're good enough that they can win when they don't play I guess the most structured, but fell short. But here we go. Game 2, round 1. Search and Destroy on Stronghold. Let's check through. I'll take a look at the side of compLexity. Parasite is going to be sniping.
And Formal both have a sniper.
That doesn't shock me. That's why I thought maybe you'd see compLexity go after them a little bit, because it's going to be Parasite trying to deal with both of these players peeking. Parasite behind the tree line, looking over to half wall, just so you get an idea of what point of view he's looking at. Formal likes to hit this shot kind of over bunker, and that was Parasite catching Parasite right as he went over the top.
I hate when teams use multiple sniper rifles because I never know who to watch.
So difficult, right? Another entry kill coming in as Crim6 was able to pick up one. Going to be traded out, though. 2v2 here. Now, can you hit triangle for me real quick? I just want to see what do we have. So we have just Blast Suppressor, no Dead Silence here. Nice long-range shots there coming in from Formal, but now it's a 1 versus 1, and there it is. Karma closing it out. He opened things up with the sniper onto Parasite. Nice job clutching up in the 1-on-1.
Yeah, close enough to trade out the kill here. I think Ricky may have gotten a glimpse of Karma as he went down towards the Lambo, decided to challenge here, but with Overkill, he's got the VMP in his back pocket. Great stuff from Karma to open up round number 1 as OpTic Gaming take it, plus that was an offensive round win.
Yeah, it was, and I just feel like having Overkill, having all the options, thermal, everything for the sniper, I mean, it has to give a little bit of an advantage to OpTic, right?
Maybe. It's certainly going to help them out because I don't really think anybody on compLexity are like that well versed with the sniper rifle in this game, and they don't use it all too often. But what they do have available to them is their utility. They have 5 stun grenades going into this round. That's certainly something that could slow down this entire OpTic Gaming squad.
5.
Yeah.
Well, here, I'm going to check through the OpTic players. You have no tac mask on Formal, tac on Crim, tac on Scump, and none on Karma. So depending on how the engagements break down, you have a couple liabilities across your 4-man roster right now with regards to tacticals.
And what you see Formal doing is he's just trying to get a line of sight in your middle map. They'll spot 2 players out, but this is a very tough shot to hit. They're just mainly trying to put pressure onto that B bomb site, but now action going down over near Mansion, near this A bomb site. Scump finds first blood onto Parasite. Miracles trades onto Karma, as now Scump has Ricky trapped, finishes the kill, but he's getting flanked out as Miracles is there for the trade. Things starting to get a little bit interesting as it's down to a 2-1-2, and just like that, OpTic Gaming close out round number 2. Yeah, maybe that hardpoint lost a little bit of a fire under them.
It may have, and I think the Man Protect certainly favored them as well. At least the concussions might end up being a player, but to this point they haven't made much of an impact. Crim6 and Formal both going to be picking up kills there pretty much the same instant to shut down round 2. 2-0 lead. OpTic Gaming now. Let's take a look. I'm going to check on my side. Karma still sniping. Formal still sniping.
All right, listen,
Crim6 sniping.
Who do I watch? Crim6 is sniping too. They got 3 snipers out. This is something that FaZe usually does.
Have fun. 3 snipers on offense on Stronghold. I'm going to try to see who is at the biggest risk of being peaked right now. Ricky's playing pretty safe in the back. Everyone else set up in Mansion.
So I'm going right for the bomb plant here. And because they have so many sniper rifles, they can play a lot of off angles. And complexity, they recognize that. Parasite aggressive on the bomb site. He takes down Scump. First blood in the round, and now the bomb is dropped.
Yeah, two, I guess I can see. 3 seems like a lot for this map, right? If you don't get an opening kill, it can punish you. But, I mean, the good thing is you have overkill, so you have a little utility there in your back pocket. They saw one cross to the right side of the B bomb site. Is checking back. That's Parasite. He's been trying to bait out some sniper shots.
But all the sniper shots you really hit on this map are like mid-thrust. You know, you're coming down from boosting upwards. I mean, some tough shots to hit. Krim peeking top table. The bomb still dropped over near the site. Formal falls. There goes Karma, and now it's all up to Crim6. He dies shortly after. Well, complexity get their first round.
The 3 sniper strat did not work here, as it got shut down. I mean, if you're not going to get an opening kill, those snipers aren't going to be too effective as you try to break into Mansion here.
Yeah.
Krim saw one. I was watching him on satellite side. One peeked bedroom for a second. He almost got that first blood, which would have changed this round entirely. But great stuff there by complexity. They knew there were a lot of snipers on the map. They dealt with it very well. Parasite getting that first kill on Scump as he was planting was huge.
Yeah, even though overkill makes it through here, still nobody from complexity deciding to pull out a sniper. I mean, sure, this map isn't too big on the sniper rifles. Tough to make them truly effective.
Parasite was on defense, but yeah, I don't think we've really seen him do much on offense.
All right, so he spots one out over near the B-bomb site. Scump with first blood as he shuts down Nameless. So early man advantage to OpTic Gaming. Parasite trying to push in and trade the kill. He gets some help. Oh, no, a team kill from Parasite. He dies. Oh. And now Karma is going to push through, takes down Parasite. Formal shuts down Ricky.
Miracles was so weak after his gunfight that was just unintentional. He might have grazed him with one bullet to the arm, really, to take him out at that point. He was so red.
That was rough from complexity. Yeah, you never want a team kill, especially in a game mode like Search and Destroy, but that gives OpTic Gaming some breathing room here in Search and Destroy. They build a 2-round lead, as now they'll find themselves going into offense. Curious to see if they stick with that many snipers. It looks like everybody put one away.
Everyone did, so that's a big change. You know, I like that. The ability to be versatile in S&D and mix things up. I think they have a player hitting bunker pretty quickly, too. That was formal, but the first player and Crim6, he's going to get first blooded, not able to make it
Scump
work.
Dies, too.
Scump also
now here comes
Nameless.
Karma. Karma does get the trade.
Now, for players that might be a little newer, viewers watching this map, why is it difficult for offense to try and break into this Mansion? What makes it so difficult?
The defensive players are just set up so close together, right? So you pretty much send like 3 players to hold down Mansion and 1 player just to hold down like that back statue and get a line of sight on. Maybe somebody decides to flank through bunker just to be aware of that side of the map. But it's because the defensive guys are just so close to help each other out. Karma spots both players here. This is very doable. He knows there's one right around the corner. He's going to challenge, put some initial shots down, but he's going to back up. He's taking fire from behind. The bomb is still dropped. He swaps out to his M8. He's going to find one player here around the corner. Spots him near middle map. Going to put down some shots, but he's backing up, getting closer and closer to Heatwave. Spots him here now over near the half wall. What is going on? He finishes the kill on the Miracles. 1-on-1 now. Him versus Parasite, and he's got Heatwave.
Oh, my God. That was like one of the longest, oddest gunfights, because I feel like that gunfight kind of carried him the whole way across the map almost.
Yeah, right.
Barely connecting with bullets, but just enough there to get the melee in. Now, does he try and get this bomb and try to get the plant? What options does he even have?
Oh, this might work out.
It could work out perfectly. He didn't see him in the corner. He didn't see him in the corner. The Heatwave would have been perfect there. Would have been such an easy closing kill. But I don't think he saw him at all.
Yeah, Parasite hugging the bomb, and just like that, he turns the corner a little too quickly.
It was tough to tell. Was he crossing the bomb right as he got that view, sort of?
Yeah. Was barely out of his field of view, I think. But complexity, they answer back. They bring it back to within 1 round. Flipping through these OpTic Gaming members. Complexity guys. Okay, so you got no special abilities. You got Heatwave is the only thing available in the entire game.
You have a sniper for Parasite this time, so he wanted to bring it out on offense.
Spots one.
Ooh. Narrowly missing a player there at the back tree line. That was that's Formal. Formal's going to be sniping as well. I think he'll be the only one on OpTic right now. And the cold-blooded.
Did you hit that?
Yeah, Parasite
you
nailed it. Yep, and Parasite was rocking cold-blooded. Formal is as well, but that was a dirty shot there as he connected with him on half wall. Re-peeking was Parasite, and Formal going to be winning that duel.
All right, first blood going to OpTic Gaming. Now complexity. I think Miracles just got spotted out from that player behind the A bomb site. Might decide to hit the wall run. A little bit risky, but he will have Nameless looking over him here. Shots being fired from the sniper. Ricky now joining as they're going to hit top mansion.
Yeah, he was. It was Miracles kind of teasing Formal at half wall, but now they've decided to make the push in. They're going to come soaring. Who's going to be able to hold it off? Crimsix is going to pick up one. Formal is going to finally tag at Miracles, and now Nameless finds himself in a 1 versus 3. Bomb down at front B steps. Shots coming from the back. Shots coming from the front. Shots coming from the air, as Nameless not able to survive the onslaught of OpTic Gaming.
Yeah. And once again, OpTic back up to a 2-round lead here. We're going to see Scumpy finishing out the round. These were the shots coming from the air.
Yeah, there's one player above him, too, I think. Yeah, they just came, yep, there was. Well, they just came flying in there. Nameless trying to react, but just too much pressure from OpTic Gaming. They've now got a 4-2 advantage in this one. Then they are back to the offensive side of things. Now let's check through
just one.
Our classes. Just going to be Formal. I'm guessing just Parasite. No, Parasite has switched up, so he's rocking an M8. And no one else. Yeah, no snipers here. The one player playing in the back, the lone man, will be Ricky, trying to deal with any overextension. But it looks like they're going to try and push in through bedroom and wall run here. Crimsix is going to hit the wall run.
Yes, comes right behind him.
He got tagged up pretty immediately. They know there's a player down by Lambo, and I think Ricky has rotated over to back statue.
Yeah, Parasite with first blood. He shuts down Crimsix. Scump falls directly after that. So rough start for OpTic here in this round. A great one for compLexity, though. Formal swapping back out to the sniper. Gonna just pre-aim these thieves. Oh, and as soon as he switches his weapon, he challenges with the VMP, shuts down Miracles. Now has active camo, and Karma has heat wave. This is certainly doable.
It's just whether they want to save those for a more favorable round, but they certainly could win this. The one player flanking back to half wall, I just noticed that was Ricky. So Ricky actually picked up Scump there at statue, wrapped all the way through bunker, came in behind. Excellent stuff from him. Karma getting tagged up. Parasite taking Ricky's role in the back, and he is going to get the final kill here.
All right, so bringing it back to within 1 round. Of course, compLexity, and they close it out here on defense. There's Parasite closing the final kill there onto Karma, but now a lot of players are going to have some specialists to work with. Karma's had its heat wave for a while now. You just saw Formal earn his camo. Anything else for OpTic Gaming? Pretty far away from that kinetic armor, as well as the vision pulse. You got camo for Parasite, heat wave for Nameless, almost kinetic for Miracles, and still pretty far from the vision pulse on Ricky.
Let's see how they opt to play this. One player getting
camo
aggressive.
Right up middle.
Yep, camo. You saw it. Not able to deal with it. Formal getting an easy first blood there and keeping his life. So look how scared they got. compLexity just like all stood there.
That's not something you expect on more of a defensive favored map like Stronghold.
No, you definitely don't. But they kind of want to guarantee the round here with the 4-3 advantage.
Parasite
Can they
might
hang
use
on?
his here.
You know, let's watch Parasite. Does he try to break? He saw one there at steps. Not an angle you want to try and challenge. There's such a difficult gunfight. He could. Oh God, did he see the player up top here?
I think he's on the other
outside.
side.
He is outside. Yeah.
But compLexity, they're really good at jiggle peeking. Like their movement here is just really good. You see they have a good feel on what they could realistically peek here. As they push forward and forward up on the map, they have some position to work with. Parasite, just watches his teammate Miracles dies, goes for the challenge, and wow. Crimsix picks up 2. Here comes Ricky trying to trade it, but whiffs with the L-car, forced to back down and runs into somebody else from OpTic Gaming. As they're looking pretty good here in Search and Destroy. They're 1 away from closing this one out.
Yeah, 1 away, and 1 away from making this series very scary for compLexity again. They got a 2-0 advantage here. You're feeling good.
Yeah.
Not so much the case here if you drop game 2.
I think the respawns are really the modes that you struggle the most taking against OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, but OpTic, I mean, they're not the best CTF team. I know Scump's up there in KD, but with regards to what
sometimes
little
CTF
weaknesses
just plays
they
like
have.
that, yeah.
That's true. You give compLexity a chance in that one. That would be the map if they drop this that I think would let them push it to a game 5. I just don't. I think taking uplink off of OpTic is terrifying.
So that's a great EMP from Karma for many reasons. One, it tags up a player, but they're also trying to shut down the camo play from Parasite. You know, you get EMP'd, your specialist ability goes away like that.
Well, the difference here in this one is basically Karma kind of Formal challenge middle with his camo, got a kill and got away, kept his life.
Parasite died.
Parasite gets traded, which you still got that kill. You got a lot of information, but not nearly as beneficial as what you saw from the other side of things. It's going to be down to a 2v2 now. Scump and Krim going up against Miracles and Ricky. How do you want to attack this?
Just go together while you catch Miracles out of position. Now, this round is just so much better for OpTic Gaming as you leave Ricky down in a 1v2. No vision pulse for him. Krim's about to have his. Maybe he decides to pop it here after they get the bomb planted.
That would make sense. And Ricky's been playing kind of back statue,
look at the
back
radius
fan.
from vision pulse. He's like, oh, I see you, bro.
And that slows Ricky down so much. I'm going to check out Ricky. He has rotated back to Statue. Can he win the first gunfight? Tags up one. Both players are soaring here. He's taken so many bullets, somehow still staying alive. But Scumpy gets aggressive, able to get the final kill, and OpTic is taking game 2, 6-3. So, I guess the game type you would probably give compLexity most of a chance here. They end up dropping, but thankfully for them, they got the upset in game 1 hardpoint. And now we've got ourselves a series.
All right, so things kind of even out from here as we move into Fringe Uplink, which will be the next map in the series. I think OpTic Gaming, they're one of the best Uplink teams out there. But compLexity, I mean, they've stolen some respawns off OpTic Gaming already. They've beaten them in the past. I wouldn't put it past them to win it here against OpTic.
Very, very true. Now, the maps, just in case you are just tuning in, we're going to be going to Uplink Fringe, CTF Evac, and S&D Hunted for the final 3 maps of this best of 5. Uplink tough to beat OpTic Gaming.
Yeah.
Evac tough to beat. Well, CTF, I think you have the best chance here for this one.
I think it's so tough just to predict who's going to win each map without knowing what the ban and protects are going to be, because for all we know, compLexity could just do something really crazy like ban out a flak jacket, ban out tac mask, and protect some of the tacticals and just really change the pace of the game. So